All right, so first day, only day. Okay, so here I am at the track meet. Right now, we just got warm-ups going on. So we're gonna have weight throw, long jump, high jump all the way over there, and then pole vault. All of them have pretty long warm-up times. So today I am running, primarily I think I'm gonna run with the 70 to 200. That's 2.8 on the R6 with the battery grip. I usually can make that work for pretty much everything. And typically I would bring the 300, but today I kind of want to be able to move around and get to events a little quicker and not have to run two cameras to slow me down and just, push myself to use one lens. And it's a solid lens. I mean, most people shoot track and field around here anyways. It's 70-200. I know it's doable. I've done it for years. And like I've mentioned before, the downside of the 300, since it's the oldest version I think possible in autofocus by Canon, is that it's not fully supported in the mechanical shutter to get 12 FPS on the Canon R6 when adapted. So lately I've been kind of leaving it, figuring out what I want to do, upgrade, sell it off, get something else that is supported, that gives me that range and more. I think in the future I'm going to look into renting the 120 to 300 f2.8 from Sigma and see how that does. I've been told it's fully supported, even though it's not on the list of supported lenses. So I'm going to try that out pretty soon. But anyways, I will check back in when we get back and started to shoot. So a few notes to mention, since we're talking gear. I'm going to be running my white balance custom. I have my white balance set to 3700, which I shoot in RAW, so it doesn't really matter. You have the full range in editing, but to save myself some time in editing, I set my white balance just so I don't have to make that adjustment in Lightroom on every single photo, even though you can just copy and paste it. It changes within this venue, as you can see. We got window light on one end, which is the south end, and then on the north end there's no windows at all, which is where pole vault is. High jump's kind of in the mix over here, long jump down there. You can see it has a little bit of light coming from the track, and then weight throw is on the back side as well with no window light. So the white balance kind of changes throughout depending on what angle you are shooting from and pointing towards. So speaking of high jump, we're gonna have a jumper here soon. This is where I use facial recognition because I could follow them as they come up and go for the jump. And usually on the first jump, I usually have to figure out what way their face is gonna be. So the first jump usually is a test run to figure out where they're gonna be at and what way their face is gonna be so I can get it in the shot properly. And then I work on a better angle and a better spot to get that shot. Here they come, tracking, really trying to figure out what way they're facing. So I'm gonna look here, she jumps, and her face is almost straight to the left, which would be, her left because she's coming over backwards, obviously. So I could probably move over to the side and get her face as she jumps over. So next time around, I'll go up by this guardrail on the left here and shoot kind of down the pole. I'm just assuming that she is going to face this way. So I'm starting here because she's coming from that side. First jump, over. First jump here as well. She gets over. So I'm kind of basing my starting point where I'm shooting from on the backside here. looking at what way they're coming from, assuming that's the way they'll look. Some of them look straight back where they came from, so it doesn't really matter if you're on the side. So sometimes you have to shoot from the direction that they come from, but overall, getting warmed up here. This one's a little tougher with the 7200, but I'm just focusing on him with the facial recognition and shooting as he's spinning. It's much darker down here, so exposing for his black outfit is going to be tough. It's not the greatest shot, not the greatest angle. It's hard to shoot weight throwing indoors because you have the net, as you can see, that surrounds them. So you can't get any closer by going to the side because it's cut off by the net. And shooting through it from the backside is pretty tough as well. It's a pretty dense net, so it's not like a chain link fence at baseball or nothing where you can shoot through it. But, we work with what we got. The one time I need the 300, I don't have it, which is fine. I've shot these guys multiple times this year, so I don't have to get them every track meet, just kind of focus on. So I just shot a girl from this direction, and I really liked how it looked with the banners in the background. So this might be a new angle to cover most jumpers. I really like the angle with all the championship banners and stuff like that in the background. So right now I'm at ISO 3200, 1/1000th on the shutter, which I think at this speed is going to be perfectly fine for high jump. So, you guys are good. If you're wondering how many photos I've taken so far, I'm at 412. My camera does a burst of 12 every time I take a photo. If I hold it long enough, I think it's 12 per second. So yeah, you rack up the photos at track meets for sure. She gets it. Moving on, next height. All right, back to the weight throw. We got a red jersey, makes it a little easier to see. I'm at ISO 4000, 1/800th on this shutter speed. Facial recognition, burst, get the throw. And that's it. Still running facial. It's too good for this stuff because they're spinning and stuff. Usually locks right onto them. If it doesn't lock the face, it will lock the body and go back to the face as they spin around. So it's really, really good. Solid start for the day. All right, so as you saw there, I was shooting straight on the side. I had to shoot over a couple people. People get in the way. People are watching, people are recording for the teammates. So, you kind of work with it. Shoot in between people, shoot over people. I've shot enough from the side, so now I am moving straight on to get a different angle. And just like that. So next, starting at 2, is 156. We're gonna go to hurdles. Hurdles is gonna go, by the time I finish hurdles, it'll be time for our girls on pole vault. So we're about to get pretty busy with moving around and stuff, so this is gonna be fun. As you can see, I'm shooting from the window side. I usually don't shoot from this side, but obviously the lighting's going to be better from this side, so I'm sticking to the window side for these, at least first set of hurdles here. So. Guys, I'm on the other side now. There's not as many running in this, so I'm just going to grab this one race, and then I will move back over to pole vault to hopefully catch the bulk of our girls that are jumping there and go from there. So far, no long jumpers today. maybe in this next heat that they're about to start. So yeah, the lighting's gonna be a little different from this side.
Come on, Pete! Come on, Hudson! Come on, Galen! Come on, Galen! Move!
All right, I think that was it for our guys in hurdles. Still prelim, so anybody I didn't get in the first race, I will pick up in the second, or in the finals if they made it, which I'm pretty sure all our guys made it. So we have a past athlete, Cordell Tinch, Team USA. Here, he usually comes up to our home meets. He practices and trains here, and he usually jumps in for a couple races when he's in town. So I'm gonna grab some photos of him while he's doing this. Looks like he's lane 5, so grab some photos of him, and then I will move on to the next event. All right, so I'm here for pole vault finally. It's taking a little bit to get here, but we have a few still jumping early, and then we'll have a few more come in late. So I usually sit down for this one, angle myself about right here, as you can see. So all right, so she got over facial recognition once again. I usually go for full body shots here with the American flag in the background. It's actually the cleanest backdrop we have is that wall. If I sit down, I don't get anybody in the photo but the athlete, so it's a good angle. The face is usually facing this way. They all kind of pull the same way, so. Well, I made my move back to the sprints. There's a few that I know that I need to get. So after pole vault, make my way over here for a little bit to focus on some 60 meters. Photo count is to 1,400 so far. Started at 12:30, it's 2:37 now, so, just busting them out. Still on facial recognition. It's just so good with track. They're moving so fast. Not a lot of people are gonna go in, nobody's going in front of them like other sports. They're just usually in a straight line, whatever they're doing, so it works very, very well. You're seeing me, if I'm doing this video the way I'm shooting it, in order of events, I'm kind of just bouncing around. I don't get a list of athletes from the school or anything. I'm usually pretty good at just trying to cover every event and covering the people I need to get. And if there's any specifics that they do want, they usually do come to me, give me a list. Hey, let's focus on these people at this track meet. Hey, we need a photo of this person, so make sure you get them during this event. But for the most part, I usually just try to bounce around and get as many photos as possible. Today's just a one-day track meet. Sometimes we start on Friday and then go into Saturday. But today is just a Friday afternoon meet. And like that race, there was 3 gorillas running that. I focused on just one of them because I was asked by one of the people in the athletics media department to focus on them. She's a freshman, trying to focus on her on the events that I'm here for. I'm not here for the whole event today because my full-time job has an event that I need to go cover at the firehouse tonight. So yeah, so right now doing some prelims. We've got a few more going into pole vault right now that I will get to at least on their second or their final jump or on the next bar when they move up. I haven't looked at the schedule today. I'm just kind of just looking around the track and seeing what's going on. So anyways, coming up on another one with 2 gorillas in it. I'm gonna look at the names here for a second. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna focus on the one on the far end. She's in lane 6. That's another one that needed some photos added to their, their folder, I guess you could say. So I don't know if I'll be here for her finals or any other events. So I'm going to focus on her on this one because I know the one in lane 1 I have gotten multiple times in multiple track meets. So here we go. If you're wondering my metering with those settings, it shows that I'm about a quarter over, but I'm trying to allow for the shadows on this side to not be completely too dark. And I know I could take the highlights down with it being over just slightly. So that's where I'm going at on my exposures. I am still at 1250th, ISO 2500. I think it's coming in a little, no, it shows even. So I could definitely bring that back in the editing, so I'm not too worried about it, so. All right, so there I changed my shutter to 1/1000, still ISO 2500. Right now it's 323, total of 1,800 images. Here they come back around. Definitely got a couple tight shots there, torso up. So battery life, one battery is at 47%, one's at 51%. One of the batteries shows a really bad recharge performance, probably one of my oldest batteries. I do have the battery grip, so it has 2 batteries in there. And so right now it's showing 2 out of 4 bars, but I could probably finish out the next couple hours on this perfectly fine. I'll have to send in photos before I leave and go to my full-time job event. So here we go for heat 4 of the mile. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3 runners in this. Probably won't get anything on the first lap here. They're in the back group as they're staggered, so. We have a guy right in front, so this is gonna be an easy photo. Also, you're probably wondering if I ever cover finish line. Usually not in these distance ones early on. I'll usually focus on the finishers when it comes to like the 4x4, 4x1, and the DMR or whatever the very long races are. I usually focus on the finish because they're usually super winded and you get those, you know, celebration shots when there's a team. So we're running final heats here. We got 3 in the mid. Here. I'm at 1/1000, 4000 ISO. That shows me just a little over. Here we go. All right, focus middle there. I went middle, and then I went lane 2. All right, so I made it over here to men's high jump just in time. Just sent in my images. And we've got, looks like one guy jumping. He made it over, so he'll move on to the next bar. Looks like we got maybe another pit state jumper. Waiting to see on that. He's sitting down, so I don't know if he's came in yet. He's about to go facial recognition. Exposure looks good at 1/1000. ISO 3200 still. Shutters 1/1000.